Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Bhai Gurbaksh Singh Ji, he's again on hunger strike. He's been on hunger strike since the 14th of November. He's on hunger strike just to get the release of 6 political prisoners in India. These are Sikh prisoners, okay? They've been in jail, most of them for 19 years to 24 years. They've all should have been released already. These guys got perfect behavior. They should all be eligible for parole, but they're not being allowed out. And all he's saying is, I'm going to stay on hunger strike until these people are released. Last year he got up to even more than where he was now. He was very close to death, and the whole Sangat worldwide did benti to him to stop, because at that time the government very cleverly had tricked him. They released some people on parole. The jathedaars went up to him and promised him they would get those prisoners released. A year later they were not released, and Bhai Gurbaksh Singh felt that his ardas had to go through. And again, even though this time the momentum is not there, even then he's been on hunger strike now for nearly 40 days. And Satsang Ji, let me tell you one thing, you know, he is one person who's trying to do something with his own life for the Panth. And he's made a request now across the world for all parchariks, all leaders, all jathebandis, the heads of all these jathedaars, committee wale, granthi singhs, kirtani singhs, for them all to come together on the 25th and do a fast. And really, from my point of view, you know, how can we refuse his wish? He's a dying man, he's dying for the Panth, he's got nothing to take from this for himself. He's only doing this to wake up our conscience and wake up the conscience of the Indian people. For the Indian people, just imagine, you have people on your soil, 6 Indians, who are in prison and they have not been released. They should have been released, but they're just kept in prison indefinitely. Why aren't those people released? Why this discrimination against the Sikhs? If you want us to be part of India, then treat us as part of India. One thing I will say, from our point of view, is we want this to be a national campaign, international campaign. We're asking everybody, in English, as Bhai Gurbaksh Singh asked in Punjabi, to join in with him on the 25th. We're going to create a hashtag, Xmas Hungry for Freedom, and want everyone to be sharing that. Let's join together and fast with him. I'm going to just remind you the names of the 6 people that are actually in prison right now, and to remind ourselves we're doing it for these people. The first 3, Bhai Gurmeet Singh Ji, Bhai Lakhvinder Singh Ji and Bhai Shamsher Singh Ji, all these people have been in prison for 19 years now. The court in India already made a judgment that these 3 people, and they recommended, should be released because they don't pose any more danger to society, and they believe, the court said, and I'm reading this for the court judgment, that they believe these people can be reformed and become citizens of India. So why aren't they being released? The next 3 have been in prison for even longer. The first one, Bhai Lal Singh Ji, he's been in prison for over 22 years now, okay? And more even that, in that time he's been in prison, 20 times he's been released for parole. He's gone out and he's come back in as a model citizen, never committed a crime again. Bhai Varyam Singh Ji, he's been in prison for 25 years now. And in that time, another person who was his co-accused in the case that he was convicted in, he's already been released. Bhai Major Singh. Bhai Major Singh is now out, and Bhai Varyam Singh is in jail, not being released. The last one, Bhai Gurdeep Singh Ji Khera, he's actually been in prison for 34 years. 34 years in prison. His whole life has gone past him while he's been in prison. And in this time, never committed a crime, never reoffended. These are not dangers to society. These people, the court themselves are recognizing they should be released. Why is the Indian government keeping people in prison when they should be released? From the point of view about the fast, you know what? It is Christmas Day. And I do know that nearly all of our families, my one included, is going to be getting together and stuffing their faces. Isn't that the best time to fast? When everybody else is stuffing themselves, if we, as the youth that feel the pain of the Panth, if we can say no, today, even though everybody else is here starving, I will remember that there's 6 Sikhs in prison who should be released, and there's one Singh in Haryana who's been starving for 40 days, who's not eaten a single drop, and for him, okay, we're going to keep ourselves and remember his dying wish. Because Satsang Ji, the Indian government did not release these 6 people. I sincerely believe that Bhai Gurbaksh Singh is going to become Shaheed. And how can we ourselves look in ourselves in the mirror if we don't accept this dying man's ardas or Panth? Give me ek benti parwan kar lo, ek din waste tusi kuch na shako. So I'm doing a benti to everybody. Myself, I'll be joining in. There's 5 people from Basicsfosikhi that will be joining in. Okay, the Gurdwara Southall and the Gurdwara in Barking, they've got 1 youth committee member each already pledged. We're planning for everyone across the country to start doing this. Okay, as many people as we can get. Main thing is, Satsang Ji, from evening, night time, Kirtan Soila, when you go to bed on the 24th until the next morning, until the 26th, when we finished our Nityanem and we're going to go have breakfast, let's remember these 6 people in prison. Let's remember Bhai Gurbaksh Singh, the example he's setting us. And if he becomes shaheed, let's not cry about it. Singh the ardas puri hoyi hegi hai. He's done what he could. Let's take that as a fire, okay, and let's let it burn inside our heart, and let us do something for the panth rather than wait around and say, oh well, kuch nahi ho sakta, no one's going to do anything anyway. He is someone, he's done something, now it's our turn to do something. He's done a benti to us, let's accept his benti. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.